Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. This is a general all signs reading for the end of October. I did a bit of an overview of November, but I want to pull today on the energy right now. It's the flipping heck, what's the date? It's the 30th. So second to last day of the month. There's something I want to talk about here on the matter of disclosure, because it seems there's a lot of stuff being said in lives and in the world that's quite a bit sort of like rocky, a bit kind of like whoa. There's stuff coming out, and I want to pull on that in this reading because it seems to be the energy of right now. So I'm going to be using the ancient Italian tarot here, the major arcana thereof. I've got the major arcana of the Rider-Waite here, and I've got the minor arcana of the Rider-Waite split into its suits here. So I'm going to pull 3 from the ancient Italian tarot, major arcana, and I'm going to clarify with the minor arcana, 1 from each suit of the minor arcana for each of the 3 major arcana. That's how I'm going to do it. So let's have a look. The energies right now. And it seems that like there's some really kind of, it's not messing around, this energy of disclosure. It's some serious stuff coming out. And it's like, it's time. It's just time for it. And it's almost like, well, why didn't this come out before? And I mean, the thing about disclosure is that it's often about something collective, often, not always, but often. I'm getting a collective energy off it at the moment. And it's not sort of like, oh, I said, why didn't we see this before? We do. But things can be like out of whack, and they can just rumble on for a long time because no one, or it just doesn't feel like the right time to sort of basically like blow the lid off it. I'm just going to check the curtains. Like I thought they were shut, but I'm going to say, yeah, pretty much. Okay. Yeah, and then something shifts in the energy, and it's like, well, this has to come out. It has to, and this has to be said, because if it's not said, then it can't be dealt with. So it's not just like, oh, did you say about so and so? There's a purpose to it, and there's a motivation to it. And when the energy shifts in ways and to the extent that brings sort of, I don't know, is it bravery or just like exasperation to just sort of say, right, this has got to be talked about now, because it's not feasible for this to continue unaddressed. Yeah, it takes something. It takes a bit of a shift in energy. So we're going to have a look at that right now. Okay, 3 major arcana. I'm back on reversals today as well. Okay, so if there are reversals here, there are reversals. I think, yes, reversals in the minor arcana as well. Okay, we've got the devil. I mean, that's that energy of staying silent, isn't it? Of being kind of bound, maybe duty bound. Okay, we've got the high priestess in the reverse. I didn't like the look of that, but I do like the look of that. We got the star. Good. Okay. Excellent. Wow, bloody hell. I mean, this devil is pretty simple. I'm talking about stuff being kept quiet when everyone can see what's going on. Everyone can see what it is. And there's something about speaking up. But it's interesting. I don't actually see any speaking up here on the table. I really don't. I mean, she's not saying anything. Like she's just in sort of ecstatic flow. Okay. And you know, no words are required here. I mean, maybe it's here, the expression. Because I mean, the devil, I mean, you know, I'm sure there are depictions of sort of devils in all sorts of cultural media, and some of them talk. I'm thinking of that film Interview with a Vampire. I can't remember the names of the actors. That was Brad Pitt and somebody else. Anyway, yeah, speaking there, but it's in the actions of the devil. It's the impulses. The devil lives in the gut, right? The devil lives in the gut of the unhealed system, where the root chakra, like below the gut, is compromised. And that creates the space and the vulnerability. That's like the hull breach, if you like. And I've got the matrix in my mind now. The hull breach. Anyway, so it's quiet. It's in the actions, you see. The gut. I mean, the gut doesn't directly speak and sort of announce itself as the gut. The heart can do that, and the head can do that. But the gut doesn't do that. The gut, it just kind of bubbles up. It's like the lion in the strength card. So it's just it's more it's action, it's impulse, it's gut level motivation that we don't even necessarily see. But it's not a particularly wordy thing. And I mean, coming back to the high priestess in the reverse there, I mean, she's not particularly wordy. You know, she's in a kind of ecstatic flow as well. But there's something tumbling out here. There's something tumbling out. It's this fast moving energy. Where am I going to go first? I'm going to go to the high priestess in the reverse first. Okay. 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. There's a loss of boundaries here. And a kind of, more like hull breaches or like cracks in a flipping dam or something. And the wealth like leaking out. I mean, the 9 of Pentacles, we've got the lady in her estates. So she owns all that. She owns everything as far as she can see. And that hawk can see even further. There's still further to expand. You know, she got plenty of Laban's round, this lady. And, the fences are secure here. She's paid for good fences. But again, in the reverse, so there's kind of, I don't know, is this like idle talk or something? I don't know. Yeah, idle talk. And this seeping away through 1,000 tiny cracks and degradations. Oof. Flipping heck, I've gone all Shakespeare tonight. I've got the Ace of Wands in the reverse. Oh, do you know I get off this straight away? No one's coming to save us. Queen of Swords in the reverse. Oh dear. Because you see, I was going to say like loose speech here, but I couldn't. The term loose speech, well, I did say idle talk. And here it is. Queen of Swords in the reverse. Indiscriminate speech acts. Okay. And there's kind of nothing to actually come of it. Oof. God almighty, this is shaping up to be a very, I'm going to leave that row there for now, and I'm going to come up here. And I don't usually break the rows like that. Sometimes I change the order. I don't usually break them, but I'm going to come up here now. Somebody's just telling me to come up here. The devil. 7 of Pentacles. Someone's been like, there's a salting away of wealth here today for me in this card. There's a salting away of resources. I'm going to keep going. Yep, and there's defensiveness. Oops. 9 of Wands. Yeah, this is like hoarding. It's hoarding. And like watching the pile get bigger and bigger and getting more and more guarded, progressively guarded here. It's when someone's got a secret stash, it's just something that these are like, there are all sorts of subtle ways that connections break down when pressure is on. And with the devil here at the top of this column, the pressure is on. I mean, like in times of crisis, when people stockpile stuff, they then have to sort of lie about it, and it breaks trust, it breaks connection, and some things can never be the same again. I remember when I lived in Paris in the 90s, in the early 90s, and there was this cafe that I used, my regular cafe, and there was this bloke who was this old man who was always on his own in the corner, looking utterly bloody miserable and really kind of bitter. Nobody ever talked to him. He never talked to anyone. He'd go in there and have a drink every day. And one day I asked somebody about him. I said, "What's the story with him?" And the response was, "Oh, c'est un vieux collabo. C'est un vieux collabo." I said, "What's a collabo?" And it was a collaborator. And this was the 90s. And this old man was still shunned by having collaborated with the Germans, with the Nazis in World War II. Very, anyway, there's a hoarding here. There's a sorting away of resources on the quiet. And, these resources I'm not just talking about money. I'm certainly not just talking about food or material resources. I mean, there's a strong element of that, seeing as it is Pentacles. But it's also like emotional resources and kind of connective resources. And that's like cut off or certainly resisted here. There's a sort of understanding in this energy that when you do this, you have to do this if you want to keep this. Okay? Don't share. You don't share. There's a lack of sharing here. Sort of guardedness. Now, 10 of Swords in the reverse. That's like sort of like death in the reverse. It's just like this doesn't end. This, I don't know, what's the Cup card here? Okay, because if I continued this row, this next card would be coming out here, but it's not. It's coming here. So let me just bear that in mind. 5 of Cups in the reverse. Wow. Oh, it's a hollow victory. That's what I'm getting off both of these. Those 2 words, hollow victory. This is terrible. This is like poverty of spirit. And there's this sort of sense that in the long term, we may be miserable, but at least we'll have a stockpile of baked beans in the cellar or something. It's like, it's almost like laughable. It's almost pathetic. this is like the motivation. This is the motivation for all this. This is the reason why this is all being done here. And it's really pathetic. It's like a Pyrrhic victory. Yeah, okay, you got a cellar full of baked beans. No fucker wants to know you. You sit and eat them on your own, mate. Let's pull the cups here. Oh, look at that, 7 of Cups. Same position it was in on the previous reading. Oh, it's just confusion. This is just confusion. We've got this like blurting out of stuff, indiscriminate speech in the Queen of Swords here. We've got this like look at the big stick, like that ain't like up. It's fucking down. Sorry, I won't say any more than that. Look at that. And we've just got this seepage of resources and power here, and there's just this like just confusion. There's a mantra I know of. I think I can remember how it goes. And it's a mantra of the Tibetan Buddhist goddess Tara, and it's protection against confusions. So I think this is it. Om Taritu Tarituri Sarva Chitta Kule Byo Raksham Kuru Swaha. And Chitta Kule, I guess, is like Chitta meaning mind, and I guess Kule means sort of like mixed up or something. But like maybe by the time she gets here, she's been chanting that mantra for a few weeks. It's all like clearing up, because this is just like a scrambled prefrontal cortex, basically, and sort of knee-jerk speech, ill-advised here, and just the energy's just like leeching away, man. So let's come over here and see if we can cheer ourselves up a little bit. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Well, you know, when the fruit tree doesn't like produce for quite a while and stops like putting up, you know, if it's dead, mate. You might as well just like cut the thing down, cut it up, season it, and burn it to keep you warm. You know, maybe this garden has this kind of arena has produced everything of any goodness that it can. Oof, I'm not getting so much like death here in the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, but I'm getting a kind of an absence of growth than like a kind of cut off ending. Okay, let's keep going. I mean, it's the swords that are really crucial in this reading, because this is about stuff coming out, and this is the most powerful card in this minor arcana section. This is the kind of cardinal thing here, this Queen of Swords in the reverse. Let's go King of Wands. There's a wish here to exert control. Very different energy from the Star, especially the Star followed by the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. There's a sort of, thus far in this column, there's a kind of futility to this. And there's something sort of irrelevant in this authority. You know, following this, yeah, is this the best you can do? Like erect a bloody fence? Like there's no action there. There's no kind of, oh, I won't go on about that. I've just got rude things in my mind. Oh dear. Well, you know, come on, look at it. There's a sort of, yeah, it's irrelevant, this authority, in the context of this. Let's keep going. Six of Swords in the reverse. This cannot be, and you know, I'm so pleased to have this here at the start. Yeah, this tiny little pinprick of light in the darkness. Okay, hold on a sec. I'm kind of getting what's happening here. King of Cups. Oh God, where did it go? Hold on. Sorry. Yeah. When a period of fertility with something has come to an end, and that happens in all living beings that reproduce, and I think all living beings do reproduce, basically. That's how they're living. When that stops, when that process stops, there's no point in trying to kind of get control of that and turn that around and kind of, I mean, when something is running out of reproductive steam, and I'm not talking necessarily about animals or plants even, I'm talking like more about kind of just stuff that happens, stuff that we do in certain like arenas and phases. It's like when it's over, when the juice is going out of it, all right, when the sun is starting to set on it, it's in the autumn. It's in the autumn of its life. You know, you can take certain actions to like reboot it. Like the Six of Swords, the reboot card. You can take certain actions and you might get like another little flurry of but in the end, like when the Shakti is dissolving and leaving something, you know, it's like it just is what it is. And that's what I'm getting off the King of Cups here, is acceptance. And again, I'm getting a link here between this final card and very strong link with the top card of this column. You know, hope with no object, all right? Hope with no object. That's what this is. And I mean, hope that has an object has a kind of built-in conditional aspect to it. Because when you are hoping for a particular thing or a particular outcome or a particular experience, when you're hoping for it, you are emotionally invested in your desired outcome. And then if it doesn't come off, if you don't pull it off, basically, there's an emotional kickback from that. But if you adopt a kind of mindset of generalized objectless hope, you like hope, just hope in all things, not just zeroed in this particular thing, that generalized, non-specific, objectless hope and optimism attached to no particular outcome but all, then something interesting happens with the emotions. They take on a new calmness. I often see rather sort of like miserable get stuff in the King of Cups. But today in this column, I'm seeing it as like emotional equanimity and balance, because, you know, he might be in a bit of a precarious position out on that like stone slab in the middle of the bloody sea, but he's keeping it together. Look, he's well calm. He's so calm, he can look the other bloody way. He's eyeing up someone on the beach. He's in charge. He's in control of himself. And it's not like, I will control myself. I will control myself. True emotional control comes when you have accepted the existence and understood the mechanics of a wide range of emotional phenomena in the self, that to which it is attached in the mind, in the memory, and in the gut. Go back to this thing about the gut, back to the devil here. And I mean, this is the journey we've gone on here from the devil to the King of Cups via the star. This is the way forward. And that generalized objectless hope opens up all sorts of like existential phenomena that you might not have otherwise encountered, because you've got the space to encounter more. You've got a wider spectrum. Whereas when your hope and your desire and your expectation is hope with a should attached to it, all of that stuff keeps you tied here in the devil. I mean, this Queen of Pentacles, both of these queens have come out in the reverse. And yeah, if your garden has stopped producing, you can babble inanities to your plants. You can say as many bloody prayers, and you can chant, frankly, as many mantras as you want, and that garden won't come back to life. That plant won't come back to life. When it's run its course, it's run its course. Everything ends. And again, it's about acceptance of that. Now, I am going to pull one from the Buddhist prayer deck. Let's have a look and see. This beautiful deck that my mother bought me at what we call a boot fair, which is when you drive your car. People drive their cars into a big field and open what's known in America as the trunk. We call it the boot. And it's probably where posh people used to put their boots when they were being driven home from hunting. Yeah, boot fair. So loads of secondhand stuff out in a field somewhere. So I'm just going to let this fall. There we go. Right, what have we got? Oh, this is a biggie. Let us go out in a spirit of compassion and take to others the benefits we have received. Let us teach the way which is glorious from beginning to end. From beginning to end. Let us urge people to live lives of perfect holiness. Let's get out there. Let's get evangelical, man. Let's get evangelical about being about compassion. Adapted from the Mahavagga, 1st century BC. Yeah, well, they were keen, weren't they? There's a lovely keenness here. And it doesn't even say, there's nothing in it for them, all right? The us here. Let us go out in a spirit of compassion and take to others the benefits we have received. We're good, man. We're already good. We're good. We've got it to share. We've got it to share. Hold on a sec. This old way, this hoarding, this cut off, and this pathetic justification for it here. This in the long run, I won't die from lack of baked beans. I can sort of, there's this sort of ridiculous, unconscious, gut level expectation here that if you do enough of this, like you're salting away and you're hoarding, and if you keep it all to yourself, like figuratively and literally, that somehow you will never fucking die. That's what this is. It's absolutely ridiculous. And what it leads to is this like leeching away, this impotence, this leakage, this chatting shit, and this just chita kule, you know, this, as I said in that mantra, this like stuff going this way, stuff going that way, no flow. There's no flipping flow. It's just this like ridiculous like game show with these like this conveyor belt of options going past. It's flipping ridiculous. The truth of the matter is that accepting that there is no growth in this. There's no fecundity in this. There's no fertility in this. There's no fruiting in this. There's no harvest in this. There's no feeding in this. There's no life in this. And accepting that, and I mean, this objectless hope. Let me read this again. Let us go out in a spirit of compassion and take to others the benefits we have received. Let us teach the way which is glorious from beginning to end. It is, you know, there's no sort of like, oh, most of it's good, but there's these bits that are crap. No, it's all good. Let us urge people, come on, to live lives of perfect holiness. So, you know, what is the motivation there? It's not for the people saying this, because they've already got it, the benefits we have received. This is about not hoarding the treasures in your heart, like here. It's about not hoarding them, not keeping to yourself and sort of going, oh, you know, I've got all these like wonderful benefits for mind, body and soul from my you know, my spiritual activities here in this context, like from my practice and from practicing you know, the Dharma. I mean, this is a Buddhist thing. I'm a Tibetan Buddhist, don't you know? You know, I'm good, thank you very much. I see the world in like crystalline clarity, and I'm going to keep it to myself. It's like, no, get out there, share it for no good reason other than sharing it. Don't hoard it. There's nothing in there for you or for anybody. Nothing will come of it. Nothing comes of that. Right. I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.